What could you possibly say about Big that hasn't already been said of all the other greats? I wasn't a big fan, but I'd like to speak on what could have been the biggest black eye to his career. No, not hit him up. Yeah, that's more like it. Gee, where do I start? How can I begin to explain how this movie single-handedly tried to ruin Big's legacy? I'm sure it's tough to make a biographical film, and normally films of this nature shouldn't affect the appeal of the subject that it was based on, which in this case is Big. But did you ever get a sense that this movie made Puff look way too good? He knew all the right moves and all the right things to say when it came to Big's personal and professional relationships. It's almost like the writers went out of their way to wipe Diddy's hands clean of any wrongdoing whatsoever. I know Puff had a hand in the production, so it's no mystery as to why his portrayal seems so self-serving. Involvement in the Pac shooting? I didn't do it. Instigating the East Coast and West Coast beef? I didn't do it. Biggie's character was just as vapid too, and that's why the movie was so horrible. Every scene was a fact about Chris's life. He sold drugs. Next he went to jail. He comes out of jail. He raps in front of Mr. C, who introduces him to Puff. He meets Kim. He fucks Kim. Puff gets fired from Uptown Records. Biggie goes back to jail. Yada yada yada. As a viewer, you don't walk away with anything. No interesting quirk about something you didn't know. And Pac, being played by Anthony Mackie, was like watching a kid play dress up in his father's suit and tie. It's funny as fuck, but those shoes aren't being filled properly. He comes in halfway through the film, and at that point you've already realized that you've been bent over and sodomized by the director, and you've also been charged for your troubles. Puff, we realize that you were the man behind the man, but making a movie portraying yourself as the Lord and Savior is unnecessary. This should be re-released after Diddy's death, because it was more of a tribute to him than it was to Biggie. Johnny Cash had a decent film. Even that goofy fuck Ray Charles had a decent flick. Notorious had a 4-year-old that played Little C. A remedial storyline, and just about everything about the movie was an embarrassment to bad movies everywhere. But if you haven't seen it yet, here's a spoiler from me to you. Big dies. Alright? You're welcome.